Therefore, when the two terms come together to form archetypal imagery, this describes a variety of different archetypes that paint a setting, a theme, or an overall mood. In other words, archetypal imagery is what gives a story more character and depth, rather than just a simple story that just briefly explores complexity in a shallow manner. In the case of Oedipus the King, there's a clear emphasis on light and darkness, Oedipus's hypermasculinity, and the crossroads.
Another archetype that is evident in Oedipus the King is the hypermasculinity displayed by the protagonist. To explain, it is not far-fetched to say that Oedipus can be thought of as a father figure, and not for the obvious reasons of having his own children, but for the fact that he refers to the citizens under his ruling as his children. Not to mention his hypermasculinity is truly displayed when he kills a group of people that are in his way. Finally, some of his masculine traits are revealed in his arguments with Tiresias and the shepherd. Yes, take him away. While you're here, you are a hindrance, a nuisance. Once out of the way, you won't annoy me anymore. You are a dead man if I have to ask you again. It is obvious that Oedipus possesses very demanding and controlling qualities that reinforce his hypermasculinity.
In Oedipus, a very reoccurring image is the crossroads Oedipus encounters on his journey to Thebes. On this pathway is where Oedipus encounters King Laius and decides to attack him and his guards. The crossroads represents much more than mere pathways intersecting. The crossroads signifies the three choices Oedipus could have made, each with its own consequences. The choices being him returning home to his family and continuing his life as the heir to Corinth, him attacking King Laius, and Oedipus keeping his temper and simply passing by, each of which will have given him a different future and possibly leading him away from the prophecies given to Jocasta about his downfall.
This is shown when Oedipus explains, "As I journeyed on, I came near to this triple crossroad, and there I was met by a herald and a man riding on a horse-drawn wagon just as you described it. Afterwards," he says, "I paid him back in full, with interest. In no time at all, he was hit by the stick I held in my hand and rolled backwards from the center of the wagon."
The three crossroads can represent his identity, as a father to his children, a brother to Creon, and a son to his father. Along with Jocasta's identity of being the wife of Oedipus, sister of Creon, and a mother to her children.
To show Jocasta's relationships, when the Corinthian messenger arrives, the chorus leader says, "This is his place, and he is inside, stranger. This lady is his queen, his wife, and mother of his children."
The crossroads also represent how Oedipus is given a choice, but his fate makes him choose the violent path, leading to his destruction. The crossroads signifies the choices one can make in their daily lives, but to Oedipus it represents his self-fulfilling prophecies. Everyone has a choice, each with its own consequence, but Sophocles decided to create the story of Oedipus with him following a set path in life, led by prophecies, eventually leading to his untimely downfall.
Finally, the archetype of light and darkness is extremely prominent in Oedipus the King. The imagery of light usually refers to hope, renewal, and enlightenment, whereas darkness refers to the plague, destruction, and ignorance. The light and darkness archetype is used in various forms throughout the play. For instance, the setting of the play, physically being light or dark out. This is exemplified when Oedipus covers himself from the light by going into the shade, and in a conversation with Creon and blind Oedipus. Not to mention that darkness refers to despair and shame. In an argument between Oedipus and Tiresias, Tiresias states, "You are shrouded in darkness." But more relevant in the play is that light and darkness can be thought of as sight and blindness. Furthermore, truth and ignorance. It is obvious that when Oedipus can see, he is, for lack of better words, blind to the truth, whereas physically blind Tiresias knows the horror of Oedipus's bloodline. It takes the blindness of Oedipus for him to know the truth. Finally, the play contains a lot of divine presence. There are a lot of prophecies from Apollo. In relation to light and darkness, Apollo is considered the god of sun and light. The disapproval of Apollo and his prophecies by Oedipus and Jocasta can account for the downfall of them both, and the worship of the gods can account for the enlightenment of the new king Creon.
As a result, Oedipus the king is absolutely covered in all sorts of different archetypes that contribute to the overall meaning and understanding of the play. These archetypes include light and darkness, Oedipus's display of sheer dominance, the symbol of choice, and definitely many others not covered here. In fact, the use of such strong and universal archetypes in the play has also most likely been one of the key driving factors in keeping the story relevant in modern society. Even despite being dated all the way back to 427 BC, in which was actually over 2,000 years ago.